have too many books, and I have way too many books that are sitting on my shelves and have been there for years that I don't necessarily need to keep. You may remember Lexi coming over to my house back in January, and she did a massive unhaul of my shelves and squirted me with a spray bottle if I decided that I didn't want to get rid of something she thought needed to go. There were a few books that she suggested that I get rid of that I just wasn't quite ready to turn loose of. One of them was the Zodiac Academy series, book 1 and book 2. I had read book 1, but I was trying to decide whether or not I should keep the first and the second books in the series. She said they should go. I was like, I haven't read book 2 yet, so I really want to keep it and to see if I like it. And then she also picked this behemoth for me to get rid of, and I was like, but I really like Samantha Shannon's The Bone Season series, and it's a well-loved book. It's been sitting on my shelves for a reason. Like, I want to keep it. And she's like, no, you should get rid of it. And I was like, but I want to keep it. So we came to a compromise that meant that I needed to actually read the books that I was wanting to keep and not just keep them on my shelves to look pretty. So that brings us to today. I'm going to be reading Ruthless Fae and Priory of the Orange Tree and trying to decide whether or not they need to stay on my shelves. Am I going to keep them, or am I going to leave them and unhaul them? I'm a little bit nervous because both of these are quite chunky. Both of them I have been putting off for a reason, but it's time. It's time for me to pick them up. It's time for me to bite the bullet and decide if these books are going to stay on my shelves. So I'm about 25% of the way into Zodiac Academy, and I cannot believe that I am saying that I'm reading this because of Lexi. It makes it sound like Lexi recommended me the Zodiac Academy, which honestly makes me want to just cackle. The Zodiac Academy, if you don't know what it is like a bully romance, but make it kind of like Harry Potter school setting, where we have these twins that grew up in Chicago and then they get swept away to a Fae Academy and learn that they are the long lost heirs to this world. But first they have to graduate from like this Fae Academy, but there are 4 boys that are the heirs because they thought that these girls didn't exist anymore, and now they want to kind of force them out so that they can rule over the Fae kingdom or whatnot. I think that's basically the premise. It's been a very long time since I read book 1, but I will say it was very easy to kind of fall back into the second book. And the drama, I did not really love book 1. I felt like it was poorly written. It was just melodramatic, and I did not really have the best of times with it. But I will say going into this one, knowing what it is and what it's intended to be has definitely helped my enjoyment a lot. I'm just kind of along for the ride and having fun with it. And it is just melodramatic. Everything that comes out of these characters' mouths and everything that they do is written in the most dramatic fashion. But honestly, like, it would make a great TV show. I think that Winx is like probably inspiring this, and I had never really watched Winx until I watched the live action of it, so I didn't see that comparison when I read the first one. But it's just, I don't know, like, I'm just trying to be along for the ride. However, this book has taught me one thing, one very, very important thing that I already knew, but it's just reiterated it for me. I am a vampire girly, not a werewolf girly. I want you to bite me, not to sniff me, okay? Okay, Cal is super, super hot. Seth is nasty and creepy, and I'm just not about the whole pack mentality, sniff, touch all the time. Get out of my bubble. Like, no. Anyway, I think that's all I have to say about this one right now. It is a little bit too long. I think it's like, I don't know, it's over 500 pages, and I feel like not a whole lot plot-wise has happened in this at about a quarter of the way through, so that's honestly my biggest gripe at the moment. I'm here for the drama, but I feel like it is meandering at the current moment, so we're going to continue. We're going to see how it goes, but I'm having more fun than I thought I would. I've read a little bit more of Zodiac Academy, and I stand by the fact that this book is so freaking dramatic. Like, there is just, I don't know, some of the things that are happening, like, I can't even pinpoint an exact thing, but I'm just like, would that really happen? No. I am enjoying it for the most part. I think that every time Fae book is mentioned, I'm just like, what? I know it's like a play on Facebook, but for one, I've been told that Facebook is now for old people. Apparently I am an old person because I do still have Facebook, but it's just funny to hear that it's like in the context of all of these supposed to be super hip. That probably made me sound old saying super hip, but you know what I mean. It takes me out of the story pretty much every time it's mentioned because it just doesn't really fit. Like, it makes sense when the context that they're talking about it, but it just doesn't, like, it doesn't fit. We're in this academy for magic, and all we're doing is really talking about magic, and in the rest of the book, there's not really a lot of technology, and then all of a sudden they're pulling up Facebook, and I'm just like, could we have called it something else? Like, did we have to call it Faybook? Because it takes me out of the story every time. Not much is happening. I think that this book is way too long. It's bullying after bullying after bullying. It's basically a repeat of book 1. So I don't really feel like this is necessary at all. This whole book could have pretty much been wiped out, put into the end of book 1 so far, and then we could have jumped probably straight into book 3. I just don't really feel like there's a lot of development happening. There's no plot, so it's fine. I'm enjoying it just for the vibes. So we'll see how I end up feeling in the end of it. I have heard that there's a pretty drastic jump in writing quality and quality of like plot and characters. The bullying kind of slows down. We do start to get a little bit more plot from books 2 to 3. I'm not minding the bullying. The bullying's fine. I just wish that there was some plot to go along with the bullying because it's 600 pages, so I just need a little bit more. But anyway, I'm just vibing. I'm about 3/4 of the way through it. I'm hoping that I can finish it today. I have been working on super secret things for Battle-a-thon, and my eyes are starting to cross, so I think that I probably need to put that away and maybe stop looking at my computer and bust out my paperback instead. So hopefully I can get some good reading progress in, and then I may check in with you guys later because I'm supposed to be getting a delivery of my Fabled book, and I want to see what that looks like. So if I get that in, I will open it with you guys. I had 2 very exciting packages come in the mail that I wanted to share with you guys. The first is, I believe, my mime order from the Broken Binding. This is the second book in the Bone Season series, which I feel like is absolutely perfect for this vlog since we are reading Samantha Shannon in it as well. I really, really like the Bone Season series. I definitely think that the first 2 books in the series are probably the weakest, and then books 3 I gave a 4-star, and book 4 I gave a 5-star. I'm so excited for the 5th book to come out later this year, but she's been republishing them in part because she completely rewrote the first book, and then I think there's been some minor edits to the mime order and on, and then they got new covers. I really like the new covers, but Broken Binding did sprayed edges for them that are gorgeous, so let me show it to you guys. They always have this beautiful wrapped packaging, which I always hate to destroy, but we're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna destroy it. Ooh, she's here and she's pretty. This is the cover that all of the republished editions have gotten. However, look at these beautiful edges that the Broken Binding has done. I love these. I feel like they just match the cover so gorgeously. It's this tower right here. I'm excited to reread this and see what I think of it on reread. Oh, look at these end papers. So pretty. And then this is the foiled hardcover. And it says Scion on the back. Oh, love it. I am really excited to continue on. I reread book 1 and enjoyed it, but still gave it a 3-star. So I'm curious to see what I think of the reread of the mime order. And then I also got my February Fabled book in the mail. This is an Australian subscription box company that does primarily romantasy. And they've unfortunately been having some pretty bad shipping issues, which are not really their fault. But yes, the February book is just now getting to me. I think that they've made some pretty significant corrections to this, so we should start getting them a little bit quicker pretty soon. But their editions are absolutely gorgeous, which makes it worth it. Their packaging is great, but there's a lot of it, and it's kind of hard to get into. Handy trusty scissors. Oh, please don't cut the book. That would be bad. Oh, come on, Mel. Now I can actually get the shrink wrap off. I say that. There we go. So this one is really, really pretty too. I like this edition. I hope I like this book. I don't know anything about it. I know that it is a young adult fantasy romance with fae. And this is To Carve a Fae Heart by Tessanja Odette, I think is how you say that name. And this is the front cover. It is beautiful. This is the back. I love that dagger. And then these are, focus, these are the sprayed edges. So pretty. And then let's open it up and see what the end papers and the under the dust jacket looks like. Oh, also gorgeous. So these are the end papers. And this is the naked hardcover with all the foiling. Beautiful. Love it. I really hope that I like this book. I will show you guys the original cover because this one is prettier. I like the artists that Fabled work with a lot, and I think they're going to be expanding their artists in the future, so we should get even more beautiful art, but I'm excited to give this one a try. It's not very long, and I do think the audiobook may be on Everand, so hopefully I can get to this relatively soon, but I'm excited to pick it up. Two beautiful book mails. We love a good book mail, and I'm excited to pick up both of these very soon. Well, there's just going to be a weird shadow, and you guys are going to have to be okay with that. You know what today is. It is the beginning of June, which means there are new flavors at Mudslingers. You guys might be tired of this, but I'm not, so you're going to come with me. I don't know what I'm going to be getting today. I think there are two different flavors that I'm interested in. There's a cookie dough latte, and then there's also a French toast cold brew, and I can't decide what to get. I put up an Instagram poll. They said the cookie dough, but I'm kind of feeling the cold brew. So, like, I don't know, decisions, so we're just going to see what comes out of my mouth, I guess, when I get up there, but I think I'm leaning cold brew at the moment. I'm trying to decide between the cookie dough and the French toast.
They're both really good, gotta try both at some point.
Okay, less of an angle now. Ooh, let's see. It's very pretty. There are some sprinkles on top. I don't know if you guys can see that. It said it was like a caramel cold foam, which I'm very interested in seeing what that's all about. Let's see if, because the cold foam hasn't trickled. What is the word that I'm looking for? Words are hard this morning. Down into the coffee, if I'm going to get any coffee or if it's just going to be all cold foam, but wow. That is really good, and it tastes just like French toast. So they nailed it. I would say 9 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10. So it is actually quite a bit later. We are midway through June now, and I realized that I didn't give you guys an update on the end of Zodiac Academy, and I've been slumping pretty hard on this vlog. First, let me say I think Zodiac Academy is going to end up getting a 3-star. I liked it. I didn't love it. I think I liked it better than book 1 just because I knew what to expect going into it. It's fun. It's dramatic. There's nothing that should be taken too seriously in it, but you know what? Sometimes that's just the mood. So I liked it, and I think I will continue on to book 3. Will I keep these? I have yet to decide, because it's not a series that I think I'm gonna just love and necessarily need sitting on my shelves, but at the same time, like, I didn't hate it, and they are nice. So maybe, I haven't decided yet. It may be a Kindle Unlimited / cheap Audible book for me, but we'll see. I'm going to circle back to that at the end of the vlog. We'll decide what I'm going to keep and what I'm going to leave. But I started Priory of the Orange Tree and was not feeling it. I was not paying any attention. I couldn't even hardly tell you which characters were what, who was where, and I put it down, which is why we're so far in, and I think I'm going to pick it back up again and restart it and see if that helps. This weekend is Father's Day weekend, so we're going to chill, have a good Father's Day weekend, and then I think I'm going to restart it and try to give it a really fair shot because I want to love it, but right now it just feels very, like, boring and slow and a little too formal for me. I have made a sad decision. I have decided that I am going to at least soft DNF Priory of the Orange Tree. I did make it about 20% into this book, and I'm not having the best time. It's completely fine. It's one of those books that I think I could easily finish and enjoy and have a good time with and give a 3.5 star, but I just don't know if I want to read another 9 hours of book for a 3.5 star read. I do think that this is one of those that I'm gonna want to come back to at some point when I'm more in the mood for a slow political fantasy. This is following 2 different kingdoms, one in the east and one in the west. I believe it's West Kingdom is a matriarchy, and we have the queen that is being peer pressured into having an heir, and then we have one of her like chambermaids and kind of the story behind her. And then in the east we have a dragon rider and some more politics that are going along with that. I just feel like it's moving very slowly, and I feel like it has a lot of good depth to it, but I think it's going to be the kind of politics that I don't usually enjoy. I'm not a huge fan of slow, methodical, let's talk it out kind of politics. I want to talk about it, but then I want to see the action behind it, and this is definitely more of a conniving, talk it out kind of politics than an action behind it kind of politics. And at 20%, there have been some amazing chapters, some chapters that I love, and then I will find myself completely zoning out and not really caring what's going on. And then later I'm like, wait, what happened? Because I actually am in a chapter that is interesting again, but I've missed some because I zoned out before. And that's why I restarted this, trying to give it a fair chance. But I just think I am not in the mood for this kind of book right now. So I'm gonna be putting it down. I really wanted to give it a fair shot. So many people love this and I wanted to love it too. And like I said, I don't think it's a bad book, but for me right now, this is just not the book for me. So which book am I going to keep and which one am I going to leave? I'm actually going to be keeping the Zodiac Academy series. I had fun with the second book. I did not love this first one, but I had fun with the second one and gave it a 3 star. So I am going to keep this series. Now with the caveat that I do plan to read book 3 and decide from there if I'm actually going to continue or keep them. I'm not going to physically buy book 3 until I know that I've enjoyed it and I'm going to be continuing on the series. So while I'm not unhauling these right now, if I decide once I read book 3, nope, I'm out, then they are gonna go. And I'm going to leave them at that point. But for now, I'm gonna keep them. I feel like keeping a 3 star that I had fun with is perfectly acceptable. Now, for the discussion of Priory, am I going to keep or am I going to leave this? I think I'm going to do something in between, which feels like cheating. Really, one book I should have kept and one book I should leave in this vlog, but I'm gonna cheat just a little bit. I'm not gonna keep it on my shelves because this thing is huge. It takes up a ton of space. It just does not need to necessarily be sitting on my shelves. However, I'm not going to like list it on Pango or yeet it out of my house just yet. I'm gonna put it in the closet. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna try coming back to it when I'm a little bit more in the mood for a very slow moving plot that's super chunky. And we're just gonna hang on to it for now because it's one of those books that like, I know I need to get rid of, but I'm just not ready yet, which was the whole point of me doing this vlog and the reason that Lexi wanted me to get rid of it in the first place, but I'm not ready yet. So we're gonna halfway unhaul it. We're gonna put it in the closet, and if in 6 months to a year I haven't picked it up again, it's probably time for me to just let it leave my household, but I'm just not quite there yet. So I'm going to semi-keep it, semi-unhaul it. We're going to kind of leave it. I don't really know. So hopefully this was entertaining for you guys. I definitely need to do more of these in the future because there are more than just those 2 books that I probably need to get on my shelves, but I'm just not quite ready to let go of until I've at least tried them. So I definitely want to do this project again sometime. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Let me know what the one book on your shelf is that you're like, I know I need to get rid of this, but I'm just not quite ready to part with it yet. Or if you just want to let me know that you were here and hanging out, leave me a dragon emoji for Priory of the Orange Tree. I will leave the video where Lexi chose these books for me to read here for you guys in case you want to check it out. It was a lot of fun and quite entertaining for both of us to film. As always, links to my Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, and Goodreads are all in the description box below. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe if you want to, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!